Hey, it's me, Destin. Welcome back to Smarter Every Day. You've heard people say it's just like riding a bike, meaning it's really easy and you can't forget how to do it, right? But I did something. I did something that damaged my mind. It happened on the streets of Amsterdam, and I got really scared, honestly. I can't ride a bike like you can anymore. Before I show you the video of what happened, I need to tell you the backstory. Like many 6-year-olds with a MacGyver mullet, I learned how to ride a bike when I was really young. I had learned a life skill and I was really proud of it. Everything changed though when my friend Barney called me 25 years later. Where I work, the welders are geniuses and they like to play jokes on the engineers. He had a challenge for me. He had built a special bicycle and he wanted me to try to ride it. He had only changed one thing. When you turn the handlebar to the left, the wheel goes to the right. When you turn it to the right, the wheel goes to the left. I thought this would be easy, so I hopped on the bike ready to demonstrate how quickly I could conquer this.
And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Destin Salmon. First attempt riding the bicycle.
So, faster I go, the better.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. You can see that I'm laughing, but I'm actually really frustrated. In this moment, I had a really deep revelation. My thinking was in a rut. This bike revealed a very deep truth to me. I had the knowledge of how to operate the bike, but I did not have the understanding. Therefore, knowledge is not understanding. Look, I know what you're probably thinking. Destin's probably just an uncoordinated engineer and can't do it. But that's not the case at all. The algorithm that's associated with riding a bike in your brain is just that complicated. Think about it. Downwards force on the pedals, leaning your whole body, pulling and pushing the handlebars, gyroscopic precession in the wheels, every single force is part of this algorithm. And if you change any one part, it affects the entire control system. I do not make definitive statements that often, but I'm telling you right now, you cannot ride this bicycle. You might think you can, but you can't. I know this because I'm often asked to speak at universities and conferences, and I take the bike with me. It's always the same. People think they're going to try some trick or they're just going to power through it. It doesn't work. Your brain cannot handle this. For instance, this guy, I offered him $200 just to ride this bike 10 feet across the stage. Everybody thought he could do it.
No, you didn't understand. You didn't understand. So, this way. Alright, so, whenever you're ready. Yeah. Wait. No, you have to keep your feet on. Dude, look, alright, let's see. Here we go. Like, you gotta start rolling at least. And go. Alright, back up. Okay.
Keep your feet on the pedal. Go. Just keep your feet on the pedals. Yeah, come on.
Once you have a rigid way of thinking in your head, sometimes you cannot change that, even if you want to. So here's what I did. It was a personal challenge. I stayed out here in this driveway and I practiced about 5 minutes every day. My neighbors made fun of me. I had many wrecks, but after 8 months, this happened. One day I couldn't ride the bike and the next day I could. It was like I could feel some kind of pathway in my brain that was now unlocked. It was really weird though. It's like there's this trail in my brain, but if I wasn't paying close enough attention to it, my brain would easily lose that neural path and jump back onto the old road it was more familiar with. Any small distractions at all, like a cell phone ringing in my pocket, would instantly throw my brain back to the old control algorithm and I would wreck, but at least I could ride it. My son is the closest person to me genetically, and he's been riding a normal bike for 3 years. That's over half his life. I wanted to know how long it would take him to learn how to ride a backwards bike, so I told him if he learned how to ride a backwards bike, he could go with me to Australia and meet a real astronaut.
Are you gonna give up? Go ahead. This is how it starts. Look at this. This is such a big deal. Get up, you got it. Did you see his brain get it? So he, in, how many weeks have we been doing this? 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, he did something that took me 8 months to do, which demonstrates that a child has more neuroplasticity, am I even saying that right, than an adult.
It's clear from this experiment that children have a much more plastic brain than adults. That's why the best time to learn a language is when you're a young child.
All right, today's bike vlog. I can ride smooth, I can ride fast. I'm thinking the experiment is over. Okay, now I'm in Amsterdam, a city that has more bicycles than people. The question is, can I ride a normal bike now? I mean, I've spent all this time unlearning how to ride a bike. If I go back and try to ride a normal one, will my brain mess up? So I've tweeted a Smarter Everyday meetup, if you will, and I'm going to see if somebody brings a bicycle, and I'm going to try to ride a normal bike. It's backwards.
This was one of the most frustrating moments of my life. I had ridden a normal bike since I was 6, but in this moment, I couldn't do it anymore. I had set out to prove that I could free my brain from a cognitive bias. But at this point, I'm pretty sure that all I proved is that I could only redesignate that bias.
So what you're not seeing is just a group of people here looking at me, looking at the strange American that can't ride a bike because they think I'm dumb. But I'm actually 2 levels deep into this because I've learned and unlearned. All right.
After 20 minutes of making a fool out of myself, suddenly my brain clicked back into the old algorithm. I can't explain it, but it happened in a very specific moment.
Got it. I'm back. Oh, click, honey, click. I got it. Okay, there it is. There was a moment. Okay, I can ride a bike.
I tried to explain this to the people around me, and they just didn't get it. They thought I was faking the previous 20 minutes, and I couldn't get anybody to believe me.
That looked like I faked that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just a fake. You think I'm faking? You don't move. You think I'm lying, don't you? I'm not lying.
I felt like the only person on the planet who had ever unlearned how to ride a bike, and I couldn't articulate it to anyone because everybody just knew that you can't forget how to ride a bike. So I learned 3 things from this experiment. I learned that welders are often smarter than engineers. I learned that knowledge does not equal understanding. And I learned that truth is truth, no matter what I think about it. So be very careful how you interpret things, because you're looking at the world with a bias, whether you think you are or not. I'm Destin. You get smarter every day. Have a good one.
Okay, if you want to support Smarter Every Day, you can download a free audiobook at audible.com.
Sir, go ride your bikes. Yes, because I want to do this with RTI. I did show this video here to my RTI group, and they were, yeah. Of course, they all could ride the bike. If that guy would just bring the bike here, they could ride it.
And also, guys,
Yes.
the growth mindset website that Dr. Ateria sent us is on that Symbaloo page that I have for you guys on my website.
And it will also be in the weekly.
It's very interesting. If you have a few minutes and can start looking into it, it is very interesting. And I think we can really do a lot with our kids if we just get them to work hard. I realize that's, banging our heads against a brick wall sometimes, but I really think we can do it.
And we have to believe that.
We have to believe that, yes.
Because we can have a fixed line.
Okay, any questions for anybody? I want to tell you that I appreciate Jessica, Julie, and Shannon for sharing today. I think all of you did a great job. So, and notice you can clap. Notice that there's the announcements at the bottom, the dates that are coming up. The only thing I want to add to that I didn't add because some things have changed since I did the agenda. On October 2nd, there's a lot of things going on that day. One more thing to add is Carrie Mason sent out to teachers today, 7th and 8th grade, about D2K trainings during, I think, a conference time or something on the 2nd. So if you're in the PSYOP training on the 2nd, then you need to go to PSYOP training. And Carrie, I think, specified that. But if you're not in PSYOP training and she sent you the invite to do the D2K that day, then you need to attend the D2K trainings that day.
Will that be the whole period? You think?
Well, it's actually a combination with the D2K training with Kim Garza, but also it's the opportunity that I have to meet with you to just touch briefly, give you a packet that I have for your students who you service in special education, and just make sure that we're all on the same page with that. So it's, hopefully it won't take the entire period. It's just kind of touching base with you guys and making sure y'all have what you need.
And Carrie's worked really hard on just trying to make sure that all of our special ed paperwork's all in compliance and everyone's informed. And so, Carrie, we do appreciate the work that you're doing. So
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, anything else?
One last thing.
Okay.
Facilities, please make sure you're taking care of all facilities, your classrooms. If a kid seems to be managing with something or messing with something that's gonna break it, just ask them not to, okay? We need to take care of those things. Budget's not large this year, so we've gotta make sure we work with what we have. Athletics, gyms, in your classrooms. I mean, we want to take care of what we have. We also want to keep what we've got and keep it up to date. So please make sure you're monitoring those things in the hallways and in the classrooms, and our kids are using our facilities correctly. Okay. That's the only thing I have to say. Thank you.
And thanks to some bond monies, we're getting our fencing installed, so you'll see that continue to progress as we go along, so. I don't know exactly where gates and everything are gonna be, but we'll learn them as we install.
I thought about that this morning when I came in and saw where they were and going out the back way for a fire drill.
Yeah, we've talked about all that too, so we'll just figure it out as we go. All right, have a good evening, thank you. If you didn't sign in, make sure you get